Hello, everyone. My name is csocd, moderator of this UN Waseda sessions. It's time to start. But as you know, the global online forum has really troublesome because of the time differences in the world. Now in Japan is 11:46 in the midnight, and other Asian countries might have the very similar times. And this forum, organized by Waseda Universities and the United Nations, has a lot of the co-sponsoring organizations like Japanese government, Ministry of Internal Affairs, and Communications. Also, International Academy of CIO and NGO Committee on Aging. Some other, I think more than 5 international local organizations. The title of this forum is really based on the main topics of the UN social development, and especially SME and senior employment issues in the world, which contain the smart cities or digital government or entertainment of the digital innovation and so on. And we have very nice, very great expert on technologies and socioeconomics from Asian countries like Singapore, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, and Japan. They'll talk about major global issues this time and how the digital technology is worked on as the key for social inclusion of all people to establish sustainable societies with no one left behind mandate. We are convinced that this forum is timely and valuable. First, let me introduce Mr. Tahara, Director General of the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications, to get their opening remark.
Hello everyone, my name is Tawara Yasuo, the Director General of the Global Strategy Bureau of the Japanese Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications. It is my great pleasure to have this opportunity to give some opening remarks at this seminar hosted by the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs and Waseda University. Especially, I really appreciate Professor Emeritus Obi and Professor Iwasaki for their great effort to hold this seminar today. The global economy faces serious challenges due to the long-lasting influence of the COVID-19 pandemic and various geopolitical issues such as Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Those challenges make a negative impact on the current global employment situation. According to the recent report by the International Labour Organization, the employment growth rate in 2023 will be about 1%, which is less than half that of last year, and the number of unemployed people is likely increase. In addition, the global rate for the aging population has rapidly increased from 5.1% in 1950 to 9.3% in 2020, which demonstrates that population aging is expected to expand globally in the future. In order to solve the challenges of both unemployment and aging, all countries must cooperate to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals adopted by the United Nations in 2015 under the principle of leaving no one behind. In Japan, under the Kishida administration's leadership, we are trying to develop a sustainable socio-economic system for tackling social issues such as low birth rate and an aging population through public-private collaboration driven by technological innovations. The Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications implements measures to provide support to learn how to use digital device such as smartphone for people who are anxious about using those items by themselves. To realize the society of leaving no one behind in the world, Japan also contributes to the international cooperation. Amidst the world still being severely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic and other emerging issues, we have all reaffirmed the importance of an inclusive internet that all the people in the world can access. The internet is not only an engine for economic growth through globally interconnected activities, but also an essential foundation for inclusive social participation. In considering the future of the internet, we need to promote a multi-stakeholder approach in discussions where people from various regions of the world can participate and exchange views from diverse perspectives. I understand that the United Nations is also discussing the effectiveness and the future vision of a multi-stakeholder approach for internet governance. Based on the importance of an inclusive internet, Japan has decided to host the Internet Governance Forum, IGF, this year. We plan to hold the IGF in the city of Kyoto in Japan from October 8 to October 12, 2023. I believe it must be the place where we can demonstrate the future of the digital society. For all people, including the elderly, I would like to express my gratitude to the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs for their preparation together with Japan for IGF 2023, and we would like to accelerate these preparations towards October's conference. In closing, I want to emphasize the importance of utilizing the power of digital technology for all people, for the society of leaving no one behind. We should recognize the role of digitalization again and use it to achieve the SDGs. Thank you very much for your attention.
Next speaker will be Professor Dr. Francisco Magno, de La Salle University, Manila, Philippines. And he's also director of SDGs City Lab. And his title of speech is Localization, SDG Localization in Philippines. Professor Magno, please.
My presentation this this morning in New York and this evening in Manila is SDG localization in Manila. Next slide, please. So the Philippines pledged to make the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda a reality, having committed to the Sustainable Development Goals. Next slide. And so the Sustainable Development Solutions Network, Philippines, was launched immediately after the United Nations Summit on the Sustainable Development Agenda. And Professor Jeffrey Sachs visited Manila in August 3, 2015. Next slide. So I had the opportunity to be part of the launch of the SDSN Philippines, and I was a member of the National Leadership Council from 2015 to 2019. Next slide. And because of such membership, I was able to organize in our university, we became a member of the Sustainable Development Solutions Network. SDSN mobilizes global scientific and technological expertise to promote practical solutions for sustainable development, including the implementation of the SDGs and the Paris Climate Agreement. Next slide. So as a member of the SDSN, what we did at De La Salle University, my university, is to develop, explore a partnership with the city government of Manila. So in October of 2019, we visited the office of the city mayor. At the time, the mayor was Isko Moreno. Next slide. We had meetings with the United Nations Development Program in the Philippines. Next slide. And I made presentations with the Commission on Higher Education, providing a framework for localizing the SDGs using co-creation and co-production mechanisms. Next slide. However, at the start of 2020, we had the eruption, the COVID-19 pandemic. So the partnership with the city government of Manila did not push through, and our university was closed because of the pandemic. Next slide. But we decided to resume our partnership with the city government of Manila with the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding in November 18, 2020. Next slide. So it was also covered by the national media. Here is a screenshot from the Business Mirror. Next slide. So what do we really mean with the partnership of SDG City as a collaboration platform? The SDG City provides a collaboration platform where De La Salle University engages with the government, civil society, private sector, academe, and other development partners to co-produce programs, tools, and technologies to achieve localized SDG targets. Next slide. So what we wanted to do is to integrate SDGs into local governance, with the university providing technical support to the city government of Manila. There are three key points here, three key elements: conduct an analysis of existing databases in the city and make a comparison with the SDG indicators, strengthen institutional capacities through workshops and training of various actors to operationalize the SDGs, and co-produce programs, projects, and activities to attain SDG targets. Next slide. So this knowledge partnership can be captured in these 6 components, research and data inventory and assessment, SDG prioritization and multi-stakeholder participation, module development and capacity building, policy engagement, technology, co-production and project development, and monitoring and evaluation. Next slide. So we also created the SDG City University Consortium. Since Manila has many universities, it is considered the education capital of the country. So we are still inviting more members. So far, we have 12 invited universities, and we are preparing to formally launch the SDG City University Consortium in a couple of weeks. We are just finalizing through the legal review being made by the different universities. We are finalizing the memorandum of understanding. Next slide. We also plan to establish a university town techno hub. The city government of Manila is already looking for a place, a location. One of the buildings will be retrofitted to be or to host the different universities to develop technologies, techno startup community. Next slide. So we are also proposing that the integration of certain technologies developed by the university, like the local weather forecasting system. Next slide. And air pollution monitoring system. Next slide. And smart transport system using electric vehicles. Next slide. Including smart transportation applications. Next slide. And finally, SDG Watch, monitoring of different SDGs. We call it SDG Watch Manila. The development of an open data SDG city dashboard. Next slide. So we already presented this partnership with the city government of Manila in a national SDG summit organized by the national government, especially the National Economic and Development Authority, last November 2022. Next slide. And finally, I would like to thank everybody for listening. Maraming salamat po. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for Professor Magno for your interesting presentation of the SDG case study in Manila, Philippines. Our next speaker will be Professor Dr. Sen In Ren, Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. She is Executive Director, Aging Research Institute for Social and Education. So, Professor Sen, please.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Ubi. I'm going to share my slides. Okay, so thank you so much for the opportunity to present at this forum. I'm the, Executive Director, for ARISE, which is the Aging Research Institute for Society and Education at NTU. And in this presentation, I want to, talk about the work that we do and, looking at the aging population. As the minister said, we do not want to leave people behind, and it's actually looking at technologies that will enable the older adults to take care of their health and to also stay active. So like many parts of the world, Singapore is aging and aging rapidly. And by 2040, the majority of the population is expected to be 40 years and above. So then that presents, some issues relating to aging. And ARISE at the Nanyang Technological University at NTU has been set up in 2016. And the whole idea is to consolidate the research efforts done on, research, looking at the aging population and improving the quality of life. So when we look at the, the capacity of researchers in NTU, we have about close to 200 over faculty working on aging-related research, and we can park them into 4 trust areas. Trust 1, aging medicine, which is looking at biology of aging. Trust 2, social integration and education, seeing the the gaps in terms of the use of technologies by the older adults. 2, using technologies for healthcare purposes. And the other thing is that we have actually been moving to improve care and lifestyle enhancement, and how can technology help to provide and enable the healthy, active and independent individuals to have meaningful social integration and productivity. When Nanyang Technological University, we focus on technologies, but also pay attention to a deeper understanding of aging-related psychosocial issues. So I'm going to play a very short clip that describes the kind of research been done at NTU, looking at using technologies to enable the elderly to be to be included in technological solutions for healthcare and for education.
I'm confident that the establishment of RISE and KEFAS will enrich our understanding of aging and offer solutions that will help us to age gracefully and confidently as a society.
I'm calling for help now. Ambulance is on the way. Please take your medication.
So the President of Singapore was there at the think tank session, where ARISE also holds, symposium, engagement activity. The latest that we're doing is actually looking at health coaching for older adults. And as I mentioned, we have, close to 200 over faculty working in this space. So when we actually look at the, the focus area, we were, there are 5 different stages of activity that are conducted by our researchers: promotive, preventative, curative, rehabilitative, and palliative. And if we were to empower the, the older adults to take care of themselves through technologies, it is, personal health management is important. But when it comes to healthcare, it is not only just the person but it's also the community in which the person lives with. And the other thing is that for the workplace, we spend a lot of time in the workplace, but very little is actually done in terms of workplace health. So these are the 3 different areas that we are looking at. And the other thing is actually to bring about cross-cutting, multi-trust solutions through, like understanding what we want to measure, whether it is mindset change, behavior, sociability, lifestyle, or policy. Now, I'm going to actually describe, several of these projects and why I titled the talk as the whole of society approach. A lot of times when researchers like myself, when we do research, it's very piecemeal. So I started off looking at the individual level approach. And in this project, we were only looking at the elderly perceptions and use of technology. And we designed, like games to help the elderly to exercise and stay active. We turn, like motion data into fitness data. And that's great. However, like when it comes to engaging individuals, we had to use a lot of motivational strategies. For example, gamification to make exercise fun, to bring people, peers and young, like to play with the elderly, to bring about psychosocial health. At the individual level, it is, like maybe sufficient, but to have the population to adhere to, like certain programs, we need more than the individual. So in our other projects, we were looking at the community level approach. Yes, we designed technologies, like for to take care of the elderly, to address the challenges of an aging society, so that we create sustainable, like crowd-based system that supports the elderly home care service delivery. And we built, like metrics. We built, like resource management system. We have a lot of reports to talk about, like the different dimensions of care through the data that we collected. This is good, but at the same time, we also discover that it is not just technology. If I were to actually bring technology to healthcare, it's like the healthcare itself could be impersonal. So we also realized that it's important not to lose the human touch. And we were doing a twin approach of using technology as well as people for elder care management. So we continued to actually build both the front end and the back end of the technology for healthcare management. And we see that, it's like the building, it's like this vocation of health coaches as healthcare manpower force multiplier. We have, it's like retirees, we have older adults who are interested to be trained as health coaches so that they can also contribute to society. And yes, and this is actually, it's like very important in terms of looking at the needs of society in terms of healthcare manpower. So we went on to actually sign MOU with Lions Befrienders, and it's like aim to train, it's like within these 2-3 years, close to 700 of the volunteers as trained health coaches, and providing vocations for like for older adults, for retirees, for people who want to actually contribute back to society. So currently what we are looking at, it's like, for example, like in Singapore, we have an aging population with multiple chronic conditions, and these complex health issues cause a huge stress on the healthcare system in Singapore. What is it that we are lacking? We're lacking in terms of human resource, also training, getting people more, say, equipped and trained. And the challenges when we actually look at patients that are discharged from hospitals, sometimes the responsibility of care for, like the family members, they may not be prepared to manage the multiple health conditions of care recipients. And the pain points, it's like when we actually talk about, it's like solutions, whether there is a scalable health coaching model or test bidding of some of these caregiving ecosystem in the community. So we are looking at exploring sustainable, scalable solution to address the multifactorial needs of caregivers and care recipients. And this is thus the, it's like the motivation and the vision to build an integrated healthcare, health coaching ecosystem with health coaching program to enhance care delivery and, it's like continuing of care. And if we actually look at, it's like the second half of the, it's like the slide, we are capturing, it's like technology-enabled solutions to support, it's like care delivery. But at the same time, we are also training the, health coaches to be able to use technology, but also not lose the human touch to healthcare. Then the third thrust is, like, yes, there must be proper assessment and quality assurance. And lastly is really data analytics reports that will actually help us to do more, like precision medicine. So, it's like the whole idea is for us, it's like to look at outcomes, it's like the aging population, yes, it's like we have, but whether we can actually provide for, it's like programs and solutions for the elderly to live well, age well, and age smart. Okay, so that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Sen. It's quite interesting to know the university role and activities on aging society in Singapore.
Yeah, thank you.
Since you have the time limited, and I introduce next speaker, Professor Dr. Jirapon, Singapore, Vice President at Thammasat University in Bangkok, Thailand.
Hi, my name is Jirapon Sangpo, and I'm a Vice Lecturer of Information Technology from Thammasat University in Bangkok, Thailand. And today I'm going to present to you on the development of AI Center to promote AI innovation in Thailand. So as I think all of us know that the AI is expected to add economic values to the economy. PwC has estimated that around $15 trillion of the GDP value will be added to the world economy. And but the problem is for most company or firms, especially in Thailand, that even though they know that AI can add value to their business, but they don't have enough expertise, or their staff basically don't have strong expertise on AI to be able to apply the AI to their business. So in Thailand, I think it's like many countries, the challenge is to develop human capacity and skill for AI to be applied, especially in business and in government, so that we can use AI to the full potential. So Thailand has developed national AI strategies that last 6 years, from 2022 to 2027. And it has a vision of that Thailand will be have an effective ecosystem to promote AI development and application to enhance the economy and quality of life within 2027, and that we have like three main objectives: causing human capacity and technology development, and to promote economic growth. And of course, we want to have AI to have a positive impact on social and environmental. And so there are 5 strategies in order to achieve this goal. And one of the strategies is to increase the strategy number 3, increase human capacity and improving AI education in order to promote, especially the first objective. So basically, by the end of 2027, we expect that the economic growth and social equity of Thailand will be achieved to expected key result, including at least 600,000 Thai population have awareness of AI law and ethics. And also, we want to create more than 30,000 AI talents within 6 years. And of course, we want to have more and more AI R&D prototype, and also to have AI to increase the competitiveness and also the application of AI. So at Thammasat, we develop in order to help the government, we create the Thammasat University AI Center, which is a center that to be a center for AI learning for the scientists. And this AI center is situated on our Langsit campus, which is our main campus, which is just north of 40 kilometers north of Bangkok, and occupies around 400 square meters, and then it is within the one of our new construct building on the campus. And the AI center has opened on September 22nd, and it was opened by the Ministry of Digital Economy, and he really happy about our initiative, and he have put in high hopes on our AI center, and he expect that the AI center will boost AI potential, especially in research and development, and also in training young AI professional. So in our AI center, it has 3 main scopes of service. One of it, the first one is being the exhibition center, where all the AI technology and showcase will be exhibit here, and we have a lot of solutions from our partners and exhibiting on the exhibition center, ranging from healthcare to advanced AI technology. And also we also have exhibit the AI research and product developed by Thammasat faculties. Also, the second scope being the training center, where all the trainings and class about AI will be organized here at the center. And finally, there's a AI research and consultation center, where we have quite strong AI server with a lot of GPUs, so that AI young entrepreneurs can apply the AI solution using our server capabilities, so that they can develop small prototype, and they can test their idea. And also we also have the AI research and consultation center, where business can come to us and ask us for help on how they can apply AI in their business. And the main goal of the AI Center, for each year, we expect around 10,000 visitors. We expect to initiate AI talk monthly, train about 1,000 people a year, and also 200 advanced AI course for professional, and publish more than 5 publications. So last year, we have doing quite a number of projects. One of which is we offer AI something called AI Clash Course, where we ask students from different schools and faculties with student doesn't have to have AI background. They can register for the course, which is around 45 hours, and then we teach them from the ground up, and then at the end they can apply the knowledge from the course and then implementing some small AI project, and which is really popular here, and we've done that in 2 batch, and each batch have around 100 students signed up. Also, during the year, we offer quite a number of courses ranging from AI for kids, where we teach them the kids how to code AI on the Lego instrument. Also, we do the training for Python for high school students, and for professional, we do machine learning and data engineering, and for executives, we also do have a course on AI for executive, where we have a workshop for executive, so that they can learn from each other and learn from us on how the AI can be applied to the business. Also, we publish quite a number of publications by working with faculty from different schools, and also faculty from other universities as well. And last year we published 3 publications on AI. So advanced research has also being created here at the Thammasat AI Center. And also we also partner with the College of Innovation to provide some AI course on the Master of Science Data Science degree. So that and this is 100% online, where people from all over the country can take the course online, and from in data science AI, and they can earn their masters. And so that we hope to create more AI professional. In the future, we try to, as a policy of the minister, he wants to have this AI center on different parts of Thailand. So in next year, this year, we plan to have another AI center on one of the other campus, on one of the other campus of Thammasat University, which is in Lampang, which is in the north of Thailand. And this AI center will be even bigger than our main campus. In the plan is occupying more than 1,000 square meters, and it hope it to be the center for AI training and research in the north of Thailand. And but of course, we don't do this alone. We partner with local company and international company like Microsoft and Samsung from China, and also Baker McKenzie on AI governance and laws and research. And also we also partner with a government public enterprise like Airport Authority of Thailand and BMTA, where they run a Bangkok bus, where they want to apply AI to improve the fleet management of their bus. So these are all the activities and the effort of creating AI center so that to promote AI capacity and innovation in Thailand. So thank you for your attention, and if you have any, and we also open for partnership, you can contact me at jirpon@tu.ac.th. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Jirapon, Vice President of the Thammasat University, Thailand. Next speaker is Professor Dr. Suhono Spangkat, Bandung Institute of Technology, Indonesia, and he's the director of Smart City and Community Innovation Center. He's expert on the smart cities. So, Professor Suhono, please.
Good evening, good morning. In this session, I would like to share my material with the topic Smarter World Living Lab for Sustainable Development Goal. I'm Suhono Spangkat, Director Smart City and Community Innovation Center, Bandung Stock Technology. Smarter World Living Lab was recommended by G20 Presidency Indonesia last year. Okay, I start with the global issue. In this year, the recession, inflation, etc., as one of the economic global issue, property, healthcare, climate change, etc. And pandemic amplifies this issue. Many technology-based solutions fail to deliver the promises. Smart solution also not successfully 100%. Only 5% succeed, 20% fail, and 75% fail to meet expectation in building solution and digital transformation for smart cities. Municipality deploy an electronic on-street vehicle parking, for example, systematically, massively throughout the city, but the local authority has not been able to operate it properly. Indonesian rating Smart City Index. Implementing digital payment in popular tourist area decrease local income by 20 to 40% per week. And there are smart solution problem. Technology deployment were counterproductive because of the non-technical issues, stakeholder involvement, regulation, local wisdom, what's scoping, funding, etc. And we are in the era how to keep our development in a sustainable development goal. So we are propose Smarter World Living Lab as a sustainable development goal enabler. Smarter World Living Lab is an approach to solve the problem in a small area, campus, urban, rural, maritime, etc., by involving various stakeholders with more measurable, effective, efficient innovation, and the impact can be directly on citizens. And our concept in a Smarter World Living Lab is how to make engagement between open innovation, user engagement, co-creation, multi-stakeholder participants, and real-life environment. Open innovation is a process in which people seek and commercialize innovative from outside the organization. Second is user engagement as a form of interaction between citizens and their government. Co-creation, stakeholder role, knowing the role and function of how to build togetherness. Multi-stakeholder participant to collaborate and establish a living lab that can solve problems based on their expertise. Number 5 is real-life environment, a solving problem in a real ecosystem. And what is the urgency of the Smarter World Living Lab is how to minimize the smart solution value in smart city-wide implementation. The second is measurable and sustainable implementation approach. Third, an approach whose impact is directly felt by the citizen. 4, a communication system that allows all stakeholders to share experiences and discuss regional development synchronously or asynchronously. The objective of Smarter World Living Lab is to improve the quality of life, solving problems or maximizing the potential of province, cities, and rural areas on a small scale. Continuous evaluation of real problem and actual condition. Number 4, provide prototyping of the technology, governance, and human resources development. And also sandbox for a new startup, knowledge center to deliver problem solving, cerebral lab based learning hub. The activities of Smarter World Living Lab is based on the plan, build, run, and evaluate. More detail of these activities and figure in below. Plan, area identification and measurement of existing condition to identify problem and alternative solution. Build, choose a solution from some alternative solution proposed in the first step. Number 3, run, implement the selected solution to solve problems in the area. Evaluate and measure the result of the implementation. We may expand the implementation after positive result and feedback. And successfully, the implementation Smarter World Living Lab is a partnership between government, industry, academia, community, and citizens. There are examples of our Smarter World Living Lab in Bandung. Dago, di Patiukur, and Ganesha, di Diki is our near campus and Braga urban area. How to make boundary of the area, and then how to measure and how to implement the open innovation and the readiness of the people, and also governance from the government. The problem and objective of the urban area is economic inequality, ease of mobility, basic services such as garbage, security, water need, environmental problem, and energy need. The objective is based on sustainable development goal is balancing between economy, environment, and society. Create a digital economy environment that applies to all small business, improving the quality of life from waste, water, and energy management. Better society from the security aspect to the health aspect. And there is an example in maritime area and rural area in Dramayu. The problem on environment abrasion, waste, resource supply chain, safe and secure. And this in the smart village is in Cangkingan and Dramayu. And the problem objective maritime and rural in Dramayu is a rise in the rural and maritime area, public services, the environment, waste and abrasion, weather and logistic, and basic service for the community. The objective is improving the economy in the village area by optimizing the potential resources in the sea area, minimize village marine, coastal, environment problems such as garbage, waste, and environmental safety, facilitate fishing communities in the carrying out daily activities. And there's an example of the mobility and safe and secure in the traffic management system, face recognition, face emotion, age and gender traffic management system. And there is an example of smart energy, charging station for fishing boat, improve safety, saving energy and minimizing ship operational expenses from diesel fuel. And also the policy on the smart maritime measure fishing, restriction of the fishing for the preservation, availability, and sustainability of fish in this area. And our approach is based on the sensing, understanding, acting. How to understand the situation near our living lab and then understand, and we decide and then acting based on the understanding of the situation and the best. Finally, we would like to emphasizing on the citizen engagement and digital literacy. Citizen engagement is a form of interaction between citizen and the government. This can occur at any state of the development or implementation of government policy and public service delivery, or be triggered by events occurring in the local area. Digital literacy, the ability to use information and communication technology to find, evaluate, utilize, create communicated content or information with a cognitive, ethical, social, emotional, and technical skill. Thank you, and hope we could contribute in our sustainable development goal by Smarter World Living Lab, and we invite to make collaboration in a Smarter World Living Lab. Thank you very much.
Since time is very limited, and I'd like to introduce the next speaker, Professor Dr. Dang Hoi Bach, President, Post and Telecom Institute of Technology, Vietnam.
Thank you, Professor Obi. Thank you, everyone. Our team may have the three person is Professor Dang Hoi Bach, the president of the PTIT. PTIT is a public university in Vietnam under the Ministry of Information and Communications. Another member is Dr. Đỗ Trung Anh. So we are working in the group, and I'm the representative of group to present to you our practice today. So we are talking about digital transformations agenda in Vietnam. This is a very important program and policy in Vietnam for the time being. So in Vietnam, and you may know that Vietnam have the very good development in smart city, but when we start with the digital transformation program, we're afraid that the rural areas and remote area may left behind. It means that if we don't have the very good service in rural areas in terms of digital service, so could be there could be a gap in terms of using the services from urban areas and rural areas. So for that, we have put a lot of the efforts in for Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development in Vietnam to have a better approach, especially in the rural development. So in agriculture and rural development in Vietnam, so we because in Vietnam actually agriculture is still the main pillar in our economy system. So agriculture and rural development strategy, we put a lot of I can divide it in three parts. Firstly, we use precision agriculture. like we use big data, we use AI, we use domain knowledge. We put very high automation in agriculture. So this one we do quite okay at the moment, and the big corporations for food, for agriculture is cooking very well. The thing is we focus on rural development. So we normally also focus on three in three pillars. Like we would like to develop the needs of societies, mean that the people in rural areas should have the better access to the service, rural service, and rural service should be renovated by focus on small and medium and very small, or maybe a cooperative and different economic model in the rural areas. And then the last one is how to give more interaction between the authority and the people in rural area, how they can communicate better. Or another way is how the government can provide the public service in a better way. So that's very important in the rural development in Vietnam. So here we can see that we have the national digital transformation focused on three pillars. And then we introduce the new rural program. So we give the abbreviation in Vietnamese NTM, Nông thôn mới, in new rural. This is very good program. We also learn from Japan about the product, like we call OCOP, one commune, one product movement. So in this program, we focus on mobility, infrastructure, irrigation system, electricity, schools, construction, cultural science, construction, commercial construction in rural areas. So this is still keep this development. But beside that, in this new program, we focus on digital transformation for this program. So one of the big part of this new rural programs in Vietnam, we focus on digital. Like digital competency upskill for the people living in rural areas. So the job creation must be have the chance to rise, because of the skill competency can be trained for the people in rural areas. So we should have the better policy for digital transformation in rural areas. Another one is very important. Last two. The first one is the last two. First is the digital infrastructures, because in Vietnam, remote area, rural areas, sometimes they're located in, it's very difficult geography. So the digital infrastructure is very, very important to provide the service. The second one is data. And then we also, in this program, from government, they also put in is one priority is to do the pilot projects. We call it smart commune or smart rural program. So this is we learn from the smart village initiative from Europe. So everyone may know that the smart village initiative from Europe, ERND, but we also learn this is very practical model. For that, we call ITU Smart Village. We learn from to study in this model can be applied in Vietnam. So in ITU approach, they also focus on the 7 UN SDG. How to improve the living condition in rural areas, and also they establish some smart village models. And the second one is we also focus on we also study is about IEEE smart village. It's IEEE smart village is focused on 3 pillars: the electrification, education, and also enterprise development in rural areas. So based on this, you can see they go back on On this, our new rural program, you can see electricity is put in one of the very important thing, because in Vietnam, because of the climate change, flooding, and everything, this is very important for the new infrastructure, electricity infrastructure for better development. And based on that, we also suggest a model with called smart communities. It's also based on the smart village, but we just try to use some technology first, and the policy we will push for later. So we would like to invest in rural development through the inclusive digital transformation. We would like to establish the social development and support system, mean that how people living in the rural areas have the better service. And we also development the urban and rural linkage, because the better service in urban areas should be transferred to rural areas, and focus on income development from a small and very small model in rural areas, because that is the nature in Vietnamese rural economy. So this model is quite very important for us. So we've got agriculture and agribusiness. We would like to increase the value from the OCOP products by using some new technology like original tracking, blockchain to check the quality, to ensure the quality of products, etc. We also increase the rural security in terms of the bad and dark commercial activities, the newcomer job, and electric transaction, digital transaction in general. So this is the model that we would like to focus on. We're going to call Moon 4.0 or NTM again. NTM is Vietnamese new rural program. We call NTM. So this model is the union of the approach from our ministry and also the Ministry of MARD, Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. So we would like to develop this model, and actually we have some pilots in Vietnam. For in Guan Commune in Vietnam, we developed some digital solution to help, firstly, for tourism advertisement. We help the people to access to the monitoring, environment monitoring for fishing, and also follow the how to say agricultural calendar. So we give them the all information to be easily accessed, and we also working with the industrial partner to provide in this screen is we have the industrial partner to provide the platform for e-learning and platform for telemedicine. And this is some program that I just showed that they monitor the we have very cheap solution, IoT solution to monitor the environment for fishing in Vietnam. So the farmer that easily affordable in this kind of solution. And we would like to increase the interaction between the government and the citizen to check, to increase, to get the reaction from citizen in areas, in rural areas, when they want to reflect something. And then, so we can see that the benefits for this module in some pilot projects. So the citizen and the people, mean that people living in rural areas and organization can access the service every time, everywhere. Service can be tailored for the need of each group, and we also have the good service to improve. And very important thing is about the policy. So this we focus on people we get the farmer or the people living in rural areas at the center of this model. So we of course the need of government very important. We call this the institutional pillar. So synergy, how to work in the open government, how the government working with the people based on data-driven approach. Technology normally is quite complicated, but how to give this technological solution to farmer or people is easy as possible, and how to innovate, give the environment for people in rural areas, how they innovate by some ideas, some things, so they can work and earn and increase in their life, to enrich the life and get the people at the center. So this is our approach. So in the center is the people. Another pillar is the institutional or policy, and another one is technology, digital technology solution, and also the innovation. So this is, we focus on this is this pillars when we develop the solution. And some pilot project is quite successful in the first year. We are running in the first year, and after 2 years we can get more feedback and we adjust our model. So that is something that we could share with you. And this is also the initiative from government, and so from Ministry of our ministry, also Ministry of Rural Agriculture and Rural Development. And we are really would like to have more experience from your country, like other country, like have the rural area, the big rural areas like Japan, like China, like Indonesia. So we can learn each other, and we can share the best practice how to improve the rural areas to meet the very important UN SDG and also NLOB principle to bring better service to the remote area and rural area, like some country like Vietnam. So thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much. And very interesting to know the successful case study of Vietnam DX in rural development. Okay, so we have the last speaker on the very limited time, Professor Naoko Iwasaki, Waseda University, Japan, and she's the director on the APEC project on silver innovations.
Thank you very much, Professor Obi. Nice to meet you. My name is Naoko Iwasaki. So today's my presentation is promoting smart SMEs and startups and senior citizens employment for SDGs. So I'm a professor at Waseda University and project overseers APEC Smart Silver Innovation and President International Academy of Scenarios. So today's content of my presentation as follows: an introduction, our activities at the UN SDGs Forum, this Japan social structure and issues, and declining birth rate and super aged declining population society in 2040s, and issues on the aging people, diversity and working styles and digital divide, and smartphone classroom, reality, skilling, and case studies in Shinjuku, Yokohama, and Tokyo. And the current situation on SMEs and startups, numbers and scales, and the best practices of the aging employment and the private sector and the public sectors. And finally, I'd like to conclude my presentations. My research areas on the digital strategies, and I am belonging to several other members of the committees, and I'm a member of a committee under the Prime Minister, local system research committees, and a member of a committee of Policy Evaluation Council, Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications, and also member of councils of Tokyo Metropolitan Office and Chiba Prefecture, and so on. So under these and the committees, and we discuss about the aging issues from various aspects. The solution to the social issues in 169 and developments in the 17 fields and induce and pressing needs. So this gap and the solution induce and a big project that is pointed out by the United Nations SDGs. This laboratory ties up with Japanese government and the United Nations and argues that the SDGs forum about the age society and program of the SDGs target, No One Left Behind, in 2016 to 2021. And this is a digital Japan social structure and issues and declining birth rate and super aged and declining population society in 2040s. So in Japan, the number of the aging people will be around 40% of the total population in 2040s. And our economic impact, declining growth and potential, labor shortage, and utilization of the aging peoples. And also infrastructure and public facilities are aging in urban communities, such as road and hospital, school, and buildings. So we need to solve an urban risks by utilizing digital solution in the super aging societies. So our goal will be an effective for the other countries and which will be suffered from the same issues in the future. So we need to find appropriate solutions for the first integration between the aging society and digital society. And next is the issues on the aging people, diversity, working styles, and the digital divide. So this is a figure of the aging people who want to work. So there are many aging people who want to work, but only 30% are working. So even if more than half of the aging people are looking for jobs, so they are unable to find them due to difficulties in matching with companies. The next slide is what is the main reason the aging people are currently working and paying jobs. So number one is poor incomes, totally, and 45% of the aging people think about the income. And the second is the healthy, good for the body and prevents aging. So how can the aging people find healthy and paying jobs? So smartphone classroom reskilling and case studies in Shinjuku, Yokohama, and Tokyo. At first, digital tools plays a very important role for the aging people to find a job. In order to do so, they need skills of smartphone or tablet and so on. In order to get the ICT literacy, how to use the smartphone for the aging people, so it will be easy for the aging people to find the appropriate jobs if they have digital skills. So smartphone plays one of the very important roles to communicate with each other and other people to create No One Left Behind. So smartphone is a key tool for the 5th generation digital government. Next slide is employment for the aging peoples. This is an Iradori project. It sells over the 300 different kinds of leaves for the Japanese style table settings. So average age of the farmers involved as project is 70, and many are the women. So Irodori members use tablet computers to check for the updated information of orders. So some earn more than 10 million Japanese yen per year and by Irodori business. So the employment rate of the more than 60-year-old men and women has been increased in 5% at points. It will be contributed to 0.16% to the growth rate. This is a case study of the Tokyo Metropolitan City. What is a senior employment support project? So in order to promote the employment of the aging people who are willing to work, it is necessary to enhance matching and appeals to change the mindset of both the aging people and the companies. It is necessary to support the diverse working style of the aging. The Tokyo Metropolitan Government is implementing the Purring and Pur projects with the aim of realizing a society in which the aging can actively and participate as a lifelong active workers. Support businesses as follows: Tokyo Second Career School, Tokyo Senior Employment Promotion, and Senior Job Expo, and Senior Employment Case Dissemination and Enlightenment Project. This is the current situation on SMEs and startups, numbers and scale. Those who have returned to work after retirement, 50 to 299 people, is almost 30%. Over 300 people is 26%. So many aging people are working in the companies of this size after retirement. And what is important is how to bring about innovation by making use of the knowledge of aging. The declining population is exacerbating and labor shortage and shrinking domestic demand. So the business employment environment is undergoing changes such as globalization, shortening of life cycles, and the rise of new technologies such as IoTs. Next slide is the best practices of the aging employment and private sectors and public sectors. Ningyo-cho Imaham. This is a very famous restaurant that mainly serves sukiyaki and shabu-shabu, and many employees continue to work and even after retirement. At Imaham, they consider the experience and wisdom that our aging people have cultivated over many years as an asset. So what are the benefits of hiring the aging? So first is the utilization of an aging and experience and skills, and strengthening the employee and education, and the retention of the all employees and improvement of the company image. So except for that, Japanese companies are focused on lifelong education to encourage the aging people to participate in the knowledge-based society and through the distance and the lifelong educations. And next slide is an Otsuki project. Can it be reborn as a tourist city and healthy city and aging cities? And this is in the case of the social participation. Our student and Waseda University student and Otsuki cities and NTT and collaborate with each other and funded by the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communication project. So the aging people teach the city students how to work at agriculture, and the student teach the aging people how to use digital tools. So agriculture is the primary industry in Japan. So to improvement DX in rural areas is very important and for the Japanese government as well. So I'd like to conclude. The aging are assets, not burdens. To provide and find appropriate jobs for the aging. And smartphone is a tool for the aging to get digital skills and literacy. To include opportunities for the accessibilities and usability, not only the aging people, but also people with special needs. And SMEs should rush digital transformation sharing. DX and human resources, about 75% of jobs for SMEs and 90% of the companies. And we need to collaborate with the private sectors to promote the development successes and the translation of the skills through digital technologies such as AI. SMEs will be the center of innovation for the economic growth. And finally, preparing for the future aging societies are the global issues. Strive to improve the efficiency and improve the productivity and revitalize the local economy and with DX, and learn from the lessons of Japan and shift to a digital transformation so as not to behind the world digitalization trend. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Iwasaki. And since time is really over, and I have to conclude one message. That is the Japan is a front runner of living longer life toward 90 years old. Senior employment is extremely important to secure financing, healthy, well-being life, especially in SMEs. As the biggest labor market, SME might be very important with the working with the older persons. And also, one more thing, no retirement age limit. That means everybody can work when, what age, where, anywhere. Also, using remote online work or telework should be promoted globally. That's my message. So very sorry, we don't have time for question and answers because of the time limit. And I thank you very much for speakers and participants for these forums.